It is a new world for us. For all of us.
It's time for Vic and I to talk about the Order 1886. Now, when we were at E3 last year, this thing came on screen during the Sony press conference, and I got really excited because, one, I love werewolves. I'm part werewolf myself. Right. Two, I love Ready at Dawn, the developer in Irvine, California, and I thought, how can this thing lose? You got Victorian era, you got shooting action, you got werewolves, you got cinematics, you're on the PS4, and now the Order is here with us. Victor Lucas, what do you think?
Well, the other ingredient that you want to throw in there is Sony first party, and they've been very strong with a lot of their titles along the way. Maybe a little bit of a slight misstep with how the last Infamous game hit. We've expected a lot out of the Order 1886, and I think it's disconcerting to be this disappointed because it's just not that fulfilling a game. There's some great ideas, there's some great visuals. I think it's the art in this game deserves to be seen and recognized. But it's kind of a flat experience.
You're playing it, it's impossible not to think of BioShock. And once you have these moments when you're thinking of other games and you're thinking, boy, I haven't played BioShock in a while, that might be fun. Something has gone wrong. The train has left the tracks, and the train leaves the tracks pretty early in this one.
Cover me! The crane! Lay down suppressive fire!
Obviously, it's an homage to the cover shooter mechanic stuff that we've seen in the Gears of War games, and those are all much more fun to play. They don't have the depth of the story, they don't have maybe the gloss of the visual fidelity and the technology that's on display here, but they're just much more interesting games to play. And yes, when you factor in some of the cool retro vibe of BioShock and games like that that have borrowed from BioShock, there's just all of these other titles that you can instantly reference that were just better experiences. You know, there's some great work in this game. It just feels undercooked, and it feels even for as long as it's taken. I know it took Ready at Dawn 5 years to build all of this stuff, and some of that work is evident.
It's impossible to look at this game and not imagine the back to the drawing board moments that this team had. There were lots of ideas that's exactly the word I thought of. It's undercooked. Things just didn't pan out for this thing, and you feel them adding all of these cutscenes into the game.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid-like.
That are trying to compensate for what's missing gameplay-wise, and that's my big issue with it. I have no problem with cutscenes, as long as you're offsetting it with really strong gameplay, and there's nothing to do here except hide and find guys to shoot and get different guns, and that's not really that exciting or novel or interesting, especially considering the power of the PlayStation 4.
I believe Mademoiselle requires our attention.
The grain, we're in position!
You know, they've gone through a great level of work to create detail. It just doesn't give you enough, man. And there aren't enough of these, like, shock, oh my God, I wasn't expecting that moments, which
there's none.
You expect out of a game that costs this much on hardware that's this powerful.
With werewolves in it, the Order 1886 feels like a video game that was made in 1886.
Oh, that's
Victor
too
Lucas,
much.
Here we are in the 2015 era. What are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it a 6.5. How about you?
I'm going to give it a 2.5.
Wow.